Guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go shoot.
We live?
Yeah.
Are we on the air?
I'm trying to, it's funny because I'm over here like messing with this mic, just trying to get this sorted. I'll let you start while I get this sorted, but we want to make sure we don't have any, sound issues like last time.
Oh, yeah.
We want to make sure we're delivering it correctly to the people over there. Hello, people. Hi. And take us away, DW.
What's up, people? What's up, Bladers across the world? Welcome to the second episode of Red versus Blue. And
Let's go.
Joined us today, we have our guest, our third member of BeyNet, Joji.
What's up, everybody? It's a pleasure to be on the pod talking about Red versus Blue.
Yeah,
It's a
awesome.
crazy
Yeah.
tournament.
And then, but we're going to go more into that.
Great.
And to keep we got Q to all the left.
Yo.
Quab.
We're back.
Quab.
Wow.
Q, American Blader, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. For those that don't know, now you know.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't know.
I won't say the rest of it.
Yeah. Get the lore today, baby.
Yeah.
So last episode, we talked about just the qualifiers going into Red versus Blue.
Right.
And today we're going to be just covering, everything about Beyblade and, what the local and global scene is for it. So
Great.
for my folks that don't know, you got something to say, Q?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, that's awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a great opportunity for people that don't know what Beyblade is. They're seeing that, some of the people that know us from other things are seeing us do a podcast now all of a sudden. And we're going to let you know why we think that this sport is really cool and has a lot of potential. So you're going to find out this episode why.
So that's right. Get your thinking caps, get your notes, because we're gonna do a little recap on everything that's Beyblade X. So Beyblade X is a product out of Japan. It's pretty much Beyblade started all the way to the 90s. They're just battling spinning tops.
Yeah.
And Beyblades are, and then Beyblade X is the fourth generation of Beyblade. We got to see that come out in 2023, and then later in 2024 here in the U.S. So right now we are in 2026, and we see three lines, or I guess we can call it three editions for Beyblade X.
Yeah, let's get into the anatomy of a Beyblade so you guys can understand just front to back what it's all about.
Right. Let me not get ahead of myself. So the signature feature for Beyblade X is the extreme rail.
Yeah.
There's teeth at the end of the Beyblade, which allow the Beyblade to latch on this rail and just get like ton of speed. And Beyblade X introduced a very simple scoring method to allow you're not just watching until something spins out. There is pockets that allow you to get points for the game.
Yeah, has it always been there?
No, so
No?
I think that's a very welcome change that, you have different point values for the different things that are happening in the arena. And I think that's
Right.
a really cool competitive aspect that they added to Beyblade X that kind of led to this resurgence that we're kind of seeing. So.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Right. Bringing elements like burst into these Beyblades as well too.
Right.
You have, your different finishes is what tells the match, whether they spin out or they go into the pockets or they legit explode.
Right.
But you can assemble it back afterwards.
Yeah. So let's give them the nitty gritty, right? 3 parts: your blade, your ratchet, your bit. Break it down.
The blade is how your blade performs with contact with other and just its stamina. Your ratchet is how tall it stands and how resistant it is to bursting, like I mentioned. And the bit is on the bottom, is how your Beyblade moves on the stadium.
Yep.
And then those are the 3 pieces to put them all together.
The main parts. Yeah.
The 3 main parts, yeah. If you go deeper into it, I was gonna mention about CX.
Yeah.
We got 3 more parts that make up just the blade.
Right.
So
Lots of strategy, and that's the main thing is that now with Beyblade X, with the accelerator rail, just the different parts, there's lots of different ways to approach the game. It makes strategy pretty deep and that's where you see a lot of the competitive side come from. A lot of people look at Beyblade and be like, oh yeah, I played that when I was a kid. That's cool. You look at some old tournaments and just Beyblade's just spinning forever, and you're just waiting for something to happen. It's a little different now. It's active. People are getting their fingers cut, and we're
Well, not just the fingers cut.
Yeah.
I would say, the velocity of the sport has, it's more eye appealing. Before
Trigger
you're just
warning.
watching these two tops just try to outspin each other, but now they're knocking each other into pockets. They're getting like ramps of speed or speed boosts in the middle of the match. So
it's real, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. It's real now.
Yeah.
People are getting hurt. It's real.
We like it. So that's why we like it. Yeah, and to go in more into what Q was saying, there's 2 levels of it. You have everything before you launch. You're just that makeup of all those 3, combination of those 3 parts that I mentioned, the blade, the ratchet, and the bit. And then you have your deck where you have 3 of those blades and they have no repeating parts. Yeah. So just that makeup is a fun strategy. And then there is launcher technique now.
Yeah.
The bit, while the bit might influence how it moves, just how you send it into the stadium is a big deciding factor. You could read the other opponent and make a interesting play like that. And those are just some components for the strategy play. And I think another big part of the game is chance. Once you calculated you put these pieces together, you load it on the launcher, you get the right angle, you pull, you just have to watch that thing fight for you, Yeah. I think everyone can disagree, You put your hands on your hip and just spray.
Yeah.
You can get those points
Pretty
that
much.
we talked about.
Yep.
And see if you get those points, see if it outspins your opponent. That's why the 3 of us love the sport.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people around the world love it too. It's a growing scene, and that's part of what we're here to do for this episode is to let you know why it's a great time to jump into the sport. It's new. People from all walks of life are jumping in and finding it exciting. Really exciting content coming out of here too. Some of your bigger influencers have been impacted by this by Hasbro in the sport as well. Some Kai Cenat, right?
Yeah.
Different streamers, and I can name more streamers than Kai Cenat, but I'm just saying.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Don't test me, but it's all over. It's spreading. Big tournaments in different countries, and great time to buy in. So we'll explain it all to you and why you might care as well.
Yeah, that's right. Like I mentioned earlier, it's this generation started around 2023, but listen, it's still a great time because they just hold last October, on October 2025, they just had their World Championship.
That's right.
Held by Takara Tomy and Hasbro, where they had qualifiers all around the world, here in the US, Europe, South America, different parts of Asia, and these people met in Japan on October, and they battled it out. We saw 2 divisions. It was a regular class, which made up of kids aged 8 to 12, and the open class, which was open to adults too. And anyone could come and participate.
Yep. Yeah, some kids played in the open
class.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah,
so.
Which I thought was interesting because, maybe the open class, they didn't expect to have as many adult players, but I think they might have underestimated really how fanatic people have gotten about Beyblade as a sport, as a competitive game to play. And, we're seeing a lot of adult players because it is so competitive.
Well, I mean, yeah, people have been playing Beyblade for a long time.
Right.
You got fans from before, people like myself who are pretty new as well.
Yeah.
So it's all over the place, but that's what's cool about it. That's another thing I like about Beyblade. It's like kids could whoop the adults. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. You know.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not. It doesn't matter how strong you
Guilty.
are. Right. Yeah. It doesn't matter how strong you are, or there's so many different techniques you could use.
Yep.
So it makes it accessible to everyone. I don't think they've really fine-tuned who they're trying to target yet.
Right.
I think it's still a developing situation. So they think, there's kind of like a discrepancy there, or maybe like it's an advantage where really there's not. It's pretty equal across the board. I think that's why it's super accessible.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten whooped by a few kids. So I think that's everybody,
Right.
You go in expecting
Speak
one
for
thing,
yourself.
but okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
I was gonna add that the appeal is timeless. Whether you're a kid or just older folk too. That's that's seen tops already. It's nothing on a screen. Anyone of any age can just see it. Like, okay, I load the Beyblade, I launch it in the stadium, and that's what happens. So
You mentioned something really cool, that there's no screen, right? And I think especially in the year 2026, that's really rare to find, a game for kids and adults to play with physical toys or whatever you want to call them.
You see parents get together with their kids and play. And they'll come to tournaments, and you see that in a lot of content as well.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to bond. I mean, I guess if you're a parent, you don't want your kid in front of the iPad all day. The Beyblade. Let's go.
yeah, I was just thinking about you telling the kids they're gonna get scratched up. So
No, I mean, all right.
they're not hurting their eyes; they're hurting their fingers.
I was being a little extreme, but
Extreme. Wah, wah.
all right, my bad. Keep going.
I just wanted like a big X on the screen.
All right. Where we at?
So just to show, I was talking about they had the World Championship just in October 2025. Okay. And that really opened their eyes, like Joji was saying, that, a lot of adults are playing the sport too.
Yep.
So, I don't think this is going to be the end for like championships like this. And
a lot of people are getting flown out for some of the smaller Hasbro tournaments too.
Oh, yeah.
But we also see a lot of in the independent scene, which I'm sure we're going to get into in a second. But so many major countries, you've got like Argentina's having big tournaments, Italy, Spain, Europe is happening all over Europe. Obviously America, Canada, you're seeing it in Mexico, just so many different scenes. Asia, all over Asia.
Yeah.
So it's blowing up for sure. And lots of competitions is what I'm trying to get at for sure.
Right. And, one thing that I'll mention that we see at these competitions is the stadium placement, which was interesting because this is the first time we get like an official tournament coming out of for Hasbro and Takara Tomy. And as we're not following the rule here on with the stadium on the table, but everyone, just even for the qualifiers, played
the controversy.
It's coming out. They played with the stadium on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a little insight on that. A lot of people ask, and they kind of, it's divisive in the community. But I did a little research, did a little Googling.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. It's easy to understand, right? You're registering a kid's toy originally. You don't expect what you're getting now in the community. Or the competitive scene. So from what I understand is when you register a toy for sale, you have to register its intended use for safety regulations. Mm-hmm. And that leads to kind of like a situation where you cannot use the product outside of its intended use, or else you can deal with some legal repercussions if someone were to get injured. So you just don't expect the community to take the stadium and throw them on top of something and do what everyone's doing. So Hasbro's kind of in a tough spot because it would take a lot for them to change the intended use case.
Right.
So it is a little understandable. They're in a rough spot. They're at where they want to be. Sure, I don't want to say rough spot, but I guess the door is wide open for our scene, for the competitive scene, to just show Hasbro and Takara Tomy what could be done with the sport. So we call upon you guys.
And I think that's happening a lot because, anywhere I look on like the Beyblade social media, everyone's got their own version of the stadium stand, right?
Yeah.
So people, feel this gap that they need to fill, and they're getting creative, and the community's coming together and sharing their plans to build stands to hold these things. Because, for the adults, we're a lot bigger now. It's a little awkward for us to be on the floor. So I think that's cool that the community is doing stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, for any organizers out there, that means that you won't get the support from Hasbro because they cannot promote, something outside of their intended use. But that also means that you shouldn't try to claim that you're part of Hasbro. That goes without saying, but you know the vibes.
Yeah, I was going to just touch on that. Even this sport's been like getting close to its 3rd anniversary. Everyone's still trying to figure stuff out. So when we saw the World Championship, we see this kind of role and force of it. It's played on the floor, because meanwhile, like Joji said, people been grabbing boxes, put in the stadium on those.
I mean, talk about like what we came up with. I mean, with BeyNet to make sure that the stadiums stay safe as well. We went through a lot to make sure that people aren't coming to the tournaments and getting hurt, and we're using our methods to ensure a safe environment for everybody pulling up, right? So,
right. We see a lot of people. So when you're usually people playing on the table, these Beyblades are moving so fast that it shakes the whole stadium.
Yeah.
And it might, some people might see it as it might cause a illegitimate scoring when it's just shaking around. It just might push one of the Beyblades into those pockets.
Yeah.
So we try to come up with a very minimal touching the stadium. So because we had a lot of camera equipment, and what we did is put some mounting tape under it and just kind of fasten it to the table. Whereas other groups, or a lot around, you either get you're putting it on a box.
Like I said,
standing from the ground, or just a box to hold it in the stadium.
Yeah,
or on the table.
We use a lot of tools too. I mean, we got sandbags, lots of things we use that day. We're developing our stadium stand now. We ensure there's distance so people aren't getting hit by bays or anything like that. I mean, we take a lot of steps to make sure that the game is safe for everybody, and hopefully, some people take note of that, and we can improve on that as we go forward.
Right. And that is all the, hot stuff that's coming out that just happened for Beyblade. And I just want to go into some of the latest drops that are dropping the time of recording here.
Yeah. Totally different new meta from our RVB,
sure.
As the time of this recording, as we let everybody know, we're getting these episodes out, but things are changing all the time. So that's cool too.
Yeah, Japan is doing a great job doing one. I think on every month has a Beyblade. So we have Meteor Dragoon that just came out, and the Mummy Curse is the next two. I guess the top two new releases. Mummy Curse coming in a booster.
Yep.
And Meteor Dragoon. By itself.
There's a new Phoenix coming too. So
the CX Phoenix.
That's our latest CX coming out.
Think it's gonna be good?
Phoenix Flare.
I think so.
We'll see.
Yeah.
CX is hit or miss sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it looks like a CX. That Phoenix, what is it? The Garuda, or
Crimson or Scarlet Garuda.
Yeah.
It looks like a CX version of that, but to be honest, it looks like another kind of Pegasus Blast.
We'll see, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the wall wedge is going to be interesting.
I'm still getting around the wall stuff. I see folks like Spring that they swear on the wall ball.
The wall ball.
Yeah.
Wall wedge is going to be interesting.
I saw that this weekend too. Neo Blader was running out.
Yeah. The wall ball.
Yeah.
All I know is to do some wheeling.
Yeah.
That's the only wall.
I mean, I proceeded to burst it, so I'm just saying.
That's the thing with the wall bits.
Anyways, we're nerding out.
We got these three coming out, and we see Cobra, Meteor Dragoon, another left spinning bay.
Yep.
The second one.
The second one, yeah.
Third, if you count the
El Drago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's not too many, so I'm glad they, added another one to the to the arsenal there, because for the most part, these bays just spin to the right, and it makes a big. You have to make a big decision for what side on the stadium you're gonna rip on, because you want to make sure it gets on the side favorable to you when it gets on the rail, so you can knock it into the biggest pocket on the stadium.
The main thing you just want to remember is that Beyblade X is not that expensive of a sport as well, which is why it's super accessible to everybody out there. You know, and you can just go to your local Walmart, Target, like you said last episode, and
even Ross has some Beyblades now, and they're cheaper than the MSRP. They're like $3 for like a Wizard Rod or something. So
Toys R Us, GameStop, lots of different stores. A lot of people can buy in. Amazon, obviously.
Yep.
And then there's, you know, other third-party retailers, Mall of Toys, you know, Mall of Bays, you know, different shops as well if you want to check those out.
All right.
But, yeah, I mean, that's why that's the mission for BeyNet, right? Is to just make it accessible to as many people. I'm down for that, you know.
$3 for a rod is like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, right.
That's the
one of the best bays in the game. Crazy.
Right.
Yeah, and that's one of the original casts too.
Oh wow.
Maybe not the very first release, maybe the second or third, but Wizard Rod has been around for a while, and it's.
I want to say that's like the first. That was like debut UX.
Yeah.
It was Dram Buster and Wizard Rod.
I think that's correct. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. You grab your, you know, go to your local store or just look up online to get your Beyblade and, you know, just start ripping it. And check out your local scenes too. You know, you never know what place is going to be having tournaments.
Yeah. We just want to give that information to you guys that are probably watching this episode, like I said, not knowing anything about this. So that's what's happening in the scene now. We got the meta now.
Right.
The clock, Mirage too. Can't forget that one. Yeah. But let's go back real quick and let's rewind to Red versus Blue to give an insight of what that looked like. So then you guys have the same picture with us as we talk about Red versus Blue. I got some of the data pulled up here. We didn't have any Meteor, no Mummy Curse, right?
Right.
At the time, Shark Scale made its debut and just rocked the whole, you know, community, the whole environment, the whole ecosystem that is Beyblade X.
Yep.
We got its grandfather, Keel Shark, which was known to be just like
Shark Edge.
Yeah, Shark
that
Edge.
one, yeah.
It's very just
did
sharp,
really well.
Sharp pointed and just small, and they doubled down with that, making a nice small flat bay to undercut and burst your opponents. So we saw a lot of that in Red versus Blue. We just looked up that Pegasus Blast came out, but you know, CX is in a weird position. It's a year now after CX being released, and it's still trying to get its feet. It would have been cool to see Heavy being put into Red versus Blue. So
but we didn't have that. Yeah, no new metal lock chips.
Yep.
None of that yet. Which is new as well. We had Wave would be a newer, like Victory Valkyrie was kind of new at the time. Scorpio Spear was a new UX at the time. And then, like you said, Pegasus Blast was the new CX. So then Shark Scale was the new UX.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you got to go.
Was the latest.
Yeah, think back. Even then, and I'd argue still today, you had a lot of primary or early bays that were still doing really well. So it's not too late, right, to jump in. Some of the early releases, Dagger Trend we saw did really well. Shark Edge, like you mentioned, did really well. Silver Wolf, you can find everywhere. Wizard Rod still. So it's there's so many options, you know. I can't tell you what the number is of how many releases there've been at this point. It's ridiculous.
Oh man, like I said, it's been, you know, now it's at once a month, but just coming off the jump, and especially when the new lines come out, they already put like a couple. But when I was gonna say, even if you find the Hasbro Stadium set that has a Rush in it, that's like some people see that as gold to get that bit is what I'm saying. And so when we bring up all these latest drops, listen, it's not too soon to hit up your local store and grab your own and start blading right away. And that's what we saw at Red versus Blue. Shark Scale came and made a difference, but for the most part, everyone stuck to what they knew best.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up a number. There's no number here, but I mean, it's well over at least 50.
We'll have you count them up later.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
We're gonna put the number on the screen.
Yeah. Yes, we will.
Because it's so much, and we share this information like Q's been saying. So if anyone that's ever interested to pick up, just grab it, and they're pretty too.
Yeah. We talked about it last episode, the tech, right? Let's touch on that really quickly for anybody that's again new to the sport, and knowing that we are opening the door for help and organizations that want to come in and help out with different aspects of it, whether it be the events, the data collection, right? We had 8 cameras on scene for 8 stands. We, all that goes back to an editing team, and we tally up all the data. We're working towards. We have a few different projects for how we're going to deliver that data. I don't want to spoil too much, but what else? Anything? I mean, we're showing live on screen what the games as well for people to watch during Red versus Blue. They're able to see the game. We had a replay system with 4 of the cameras, and we look to expand on that and make it better. So it's gonna take a village, and we're looking for that sponsor or anybody that wants to come in and help with the technologies, and then that's not mentioning the sound, lighting, the microphones, the talents.
That's us 3 over there. That's this whole couch.
Yeah. So
man, you can get a taste of that already if in the time of recording we have the extreme onlys from the Red qualifier.
Yeah.
And you can just see, every station had a top down and an in camera POV. So just take a look at that, and that was just, as I mentioned, 1/4 of the setup we had at Red versus Blue. We had that same setup for the 4 stations. And with that being said, let's go over, where we talked about earlier. You can grab a Beyblade, and if you're hanging out with us in the South Florida area, I want to talk about places where you can actually go compete in weekly tournaments. Places such as Family Card Games in Margate, Guildhall in Coconut Creek, Weebs R Us in Miami, and as well, I think still in the Miami area, Rock, but it's deeper south, more I think closer to Kendall. Just to name a few. All right.
More to come.
More to come, or if any places are interested to host their own Beyblade tournament, reach out to us. You don't even have to even be selling Beyblades. We will more than happy to talk about hosting tournaments at your location. So reach out to us about that.
Yeah, we're reaching beyond too. I mean, the sport is global. We're reaching global. So, there's a lot going on in different scenes in just the U.S. as well. I know I got some friends back home in CT and Nebo. They're doing their thing up there. The NWBO as well in Jersey. Lots of different scenes. And then, of course, we're going to talk about like Cali, Texas, right?
Heck yeah. So just happened last year, too, end of December of last year, we had Holiday Matsuri, anime, pop
Central.
culture con. Yeah. They got the Beyblade folks over there from Central Florida to sponsor or to run their tournament. And there we saw, for first place, $150.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Second place, $100, and third place, $50.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing prize pools all over the place around the world. You know, high numbers, man. 5,000 I've seen.
Yep.
Over, I forgot. I think that was Spain. I have to double check that. But
we were just talking about one recently that was like 1,500 cash prize, right?
Yeah, that was a collector's expo that happened. I guess we can say yesterday of recording.
Right.
That happened in Los Angeles.
For sure.
Same with like Holiday Matsuri. This con, just reach out to the local Beyblading scene, say, hey, we want it. We're gonna put it was 1.5K for just the top 8 was the prize pool.
You know what's interesting about that though is that you know, I had a conversation with a friend of ours, you know, about just esports and like where it is in general, and how that relates to Beyblade X. Right, a lot of people don't respect or see Beyblade X as like a e-sport or a gear system sport or a sport in general.
Right.
So it's interesting that we're kind of like at the beginning of an esports type of scene. You know, this is the early phase.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got a lot of like conventions and different, you know, not no one in particular, but you'll see like it's almost like Beyblade is just kind of a feature right now. It's just kind of being used. It's like, oh yeah, sure, some people are doing that, so yeah, let's have
Nostalgia
a booth.
bait.
Yeah, let's have a booth set up or something like that.
Right.
But we have yet to see anybody. I mean, a few different conventions like Blader South or you know, so, I mean CEO, I guess in a way too, a little bit where we have a dedicated Beyblade competition. You know, so we're waiting to see that. Or I guess we won't have to wait too much longer. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Was that hand banana? Or,
Yeah.
No, it was not.
Yeah, I was kind of on that same page. It's like this guy's cadence.
No,
all right, we're done.
all right.
See it soon. Yeah, that's right. Beyblade South, and then earlier in last year there was BayCon, where they
Yeah.
I think that was May in 2025. You know, they just try to in Texas. Looks like Texas is maybe the hub for U.S.
Yeah,
Our
I
hub
guess
right
it's the
now.
central point for everybody to California and the
For
East
now.
Coasters. Yeah, for now.
For now, wink.
Nah.
Yeah.
This is cool. But yeah, I mean, we're collaborating with everybody, so it's cool.
Heck yeah. Going back to Hall Mat, so the two winners, the top 2 got invitations to Beyblade South, as Q said. And that's going to be a tournament going on, pretty much a convention now just focused on Beyblade for 2 days in
Right.
March.
Yeah.
I think it starts March 13th and 14th.
So I mean, long story short, I mean, what that means for you is like, there's lots of different competitions. It's getting intense. It's getting hype. There's big prize pools. Lots of money getting thrown around. Bladers love to spend money on their bays.
Yep.
You know, all right. I gotta ask Joji, what's the most money you've ever spent on a bay? Let's give him.
He's a Pegasus guy. Let's
I am
hear
a
it.
Pegasus
Yeah,
guy.
how much did you spend for that on that Pegasus?
So I actually only spent 140. I
Okay.
know that's only right,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that's a lot of money. But the Pegasus now is going for
games, PS5 games.
yeah, right, exactly. I think they're going for like 300 plus now. So
Yeah.
They went back up.
yeah, they're I don't know how, they're re-releasing Pegasus in the
Oh, it's
silver
Right.
and the
Yeah,
reds.
they are.
So I don't know how that's going to affect the pricing, but
But I mean, even as collectors, you got a lot of collectors in the scene. People are just buying bays as collectors items.
Yep.
They're painting them. You know,
you can pick it up, so you can get Beyblades like a single Beyblade, or you can grab what's called a booster.
right?
So that adds to the collective, because there's like, you know, just with trading cards, you know, you're kind of gambling on what you might pick
A
up.
random booster.
A random booster.
Yeah.
yeah.
So in the booster, they'll tell you, oh, one of these 5 Beyblades can be inside this box, and this is the prize
Right.
Beyblade.
And I mean, even more so than that, I mean, just the quantity. You know, Beyblades are coming out. The scene, like I said, you go to Walmart or any of these places, you buy a bay for $10 or less.
Yeah.
So people will just buy these bays out. You know, it's really quick. There's a lot of hardcore fans. So for any investors or sponsors out there, yeah, there's like, my point is there's lots of money being thrown around in the scene for sure.
Yeah, and I would say everyone's amped for these events. You know, you heard the scenarios. People drive. I've never seen a group. You know, this is my first time getting so close to anything TCG related. But people driving an hour, 2 hours for just to to
Yep.
play.
Yep.
I've never
Flying
heard-
out.
Flying out, yeah.
Yeah, the winner of CEO in Orlando was a member of Nebo in Connecticut.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
cool.
So I mean, look at that flight. You know,
Yep.
Joji, man, talk to us about your experience. I mean, give us like how you felt about Red versus Blue, how you like that, and,
I mean, Red versus Blue was really cool. So I started Beyblade X last year in May, and I played Beyblade as a kid. But part of like what we talked about makes it so cool is that it's this competitive nature that's bringing back a lot of the people who grew up with Beyblade, and it's accessible to adults, and it's fun. And so I think Red versus Blue was a really cool way to interpret that and let people team up. We had team captains picking their players, and it was like a team sport almost.
You got close, both qualifiers, man.
I know. Close, but not there.
Cool.
The qualifiers.
What color would you wanna be on? Is red or blue?
Which side?
Gotta pick the blue team for the
right.
Pegasus.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought it was really cool. I know you guys mentioned it before, but that both of the team captains were the lottery picks.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
Anything happens in this sport, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that score was really close too, right? I mean, in the end, 2 points.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I mean, what are you seeing, like, with that, with it being 2 points, how close the games can be? Like, are you seeing any just like dominant metas? You feel like the game is fair? You feel like it's balanced? How do you like the balance of the game?
I think the game is definitely balanced because thinking back to Red versus Blue, the blue team had a pretty big lead in the beginning. And then we took halftime. And after halftime, I thought it was going to be wraps. But the red team came back and managed to bring it to a 2-point differential up from like 50 or something crazy like that.
Right.
So, I think the balance is fine, and there is an element of, you do get what you put into it. So I think, seeing their team down by a lot of points.
But what do you mean by that? You mean like monetary wise or just?
No. By
that's important because it's not pay to play. For
right.
Sure.
I'm talking about your effort and the mental,
the passion.
Yeah, the passion that you're gonna your Blader spirit.
Oh,
right.
Blader spirit is crazy.
But no, it's true. I think they really wanted to win, and they made their comeback heard. So I don't think that's randomness.
Yeah, I mean, jumping back, I don't want to like go too far back, but when you play a deck, you're playing this almost rock paper scissors game where you have to set your order of the 3 bays.
Sure.
And then your opponent sets their order.
Yep.
And if you know what they have on the other side, let's say after the first 3 launches, you shuffle and go again.
Right.
If you know what your opponent has, you're kind of wanting to match your bays up against theirs, where you're going to have an advantage. It's really cool. The strategies again. That brings in the depth of the game.
That's right, because there's the 3 different Beyblade types: attack, defense, and stamina.
And balance.
And balance.
4.
Sorry, 4. Yeah, there is balance. That's right. I'm not the balance guy, as you can see.
Right.
We're Buster guys.
We're Buster guys. Yeah. We're just attacking. Okay. Your goal with the attack Beyblades is to knock in the pockets or bursts. Defense is just a direct counter to that. You want to just, as soon as an attack comes, you can deflect it off and maybe even send them into the pocket. Stamina, as the name suggests, is your goal is to stay, spinning the longest compared to your opponent. And then the balance, peaks, touches into a little bit of all the 3 that I mentioned there.
Yep.
So,
and we're going to be doing a lot of testing on our side. Again, what we aim to provide to the community is just data on data. So we have, after our first episode, we have a few people that reached out and want to help out. So we're happy about that. Of course, if you still want to join the team, you can check out BeyNet.org. So, apply and help us out with our mission. Right now, we're a grassroots team. We're on the ground, it's a startup. So we'll take any help we can get. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, as Q was talking about, there's a lot of tech, a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And, reach out. You never know what, how you can help support us and, our mission of just providing cool stuff with Beyblade and just
to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So Joji, man, about talk to us about your experience with the local scene. I mean, you're the resident blader of BeyNet. You're out here, blazing trails.
Wait, before you go into
MVP.
that, I want to circle back real quick to talk about the point that people travel and stuff. So you, before even May, you came across Beyblade in Japan, right?
Well,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I wanted to bring that lore.
you remembered
party.
that. You remember that. Yeah. So I mean, as I mentioned, I loved Beyblade as a kid, and I don't think the game was fully fleshed out. And I was in Japan, and I went to a Toys R Us because we don't have that anymore. And I saw Beyblade, and I'm like, Beyblade's back. And I had no idea about the point system or anything, but I'm just like, this is cool. When am I ever gonna have this chance again? So I bought some Beyblades in Japan, and I brought them back. And I was vending at a convention, and there happened to be a Beyblade tournament. So I participated in that, and I got my first real exposure to the actual game of X. And
game, yeah.
it was really cool. I mean, it was, like I said, like it's a little different. It's more fleshed out than how Beyblade previously was, and it's a lot more competitive, and it felt like what I wanted it to be as a kid, but now I'm grown up and I can actually enjoy it and play it, and it's a cool thing.
It evolved with you. You're
Yeah,
right.
it did.
He's
Absolutely.
got adult money now.
Yeah, right. 140 on a Bay.
Yeah.
So I mean, people are spending more.
A lot more.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But it's remarkable that you took the game out of its home country and still, no, for real
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Where else do you see something like that out of its home country and you were able to find somewhere to play it back
Yep.
home? At your home, that is.
Yep. I thought that was really cool. Very serendipitous, I guess you could say, because I was just vending that con, and I was like, hey, Beyblade, I love Beyblade. I always liked it, and when I played, I had a lot of fun. So that was really my entry into Beyblade X.
Sweet. I just had to throw in that little Joji lore for the group.
Yeah,
So-
Surprised you remembered that. You
I
didn't
got
even.
you, man.
Yeah.
So bring us to today and what you're seeing in the local scenes. I mean, you've traveled a little bit in Florida.
Yep.
Like, what are some of the things you think like are the challenges from the scenes right now that could be improved on? You'd say.
Well, I do have to say, our local scenes are great. I've always felt welcomed, and I made a lot of cool friends. I think the local scene does a really good job down here in South Florida of being welcoming. And there's not too much to improve upon, but not every local scene is the same. There is some toxicity in the scene.
Yeah,
and
get
there
that a lot from a lot of different nerd,
Yeah, of course.
kind of fandoms. Yeah,
yeah, people who like to gatekeep certain things or feel
Right.
like they're at the upper echelon of the game. And I think that one thing that we could all just work on for different communities is making sure that we're being welcoming to new people and just being kind where it counts. I think that's the biggest thing. Having traveled around a little bit, that's kind of the one thing that I experienced. But
How do you think that we're gonna combat that, DW in BeyNet? How do you see that being sorted?
I feel like that was the Mr. Mayor. That was like my presidential question over
Hey,
here.
Mr.
Yeah.
Commissioner.
don't
Hey.
give a straight answer.
I know, right? Yeah. Politics 101. Everyone, we treat everyone like, just like human beings, and we have a great time. We always be welcoming to, whenever, we set up an event with BeyNet, we keep it open to, what if someone is just looking at this at the first time?
Yep.
So wherever we can, we can help someone to get adjusted on the sport and let them know all this information that we have. This is what's going on, and just to keep everything accessible too. Say, hey, check out Walmart. There's maybe this vendor is selling these Beyblades here too. Grab
Yep.
yours and let's keep playing and let's have a great time. And and we're super open to collab with anyone really. We're really like asking for it because we just want to keep doing some dope stuff with Beyblade.
Yeah, it's cool because we've built it so that we can kind of just be an addition to the scene that you have already. We create our own events and our own scene, I guess you could say, but we are also a service where we can bring all of this tech. That's what we aim to do, so we can bring it to your scene and just bring data, to your fans, your
numbers,
bladers,
yep.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to clarify on that, one of the coolest things that I liked about Red versus Blue was the report cards and seeing how your combos did. So everyone got their report card. So
How'd you do?
I haven't got my latest one, so we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the finals one you're waiting for. But
Yep,
how
I'm
did
waiting.
the qualifiers? How'd you feel looking at that?
I think one of them was not so good, but the other one was okay.
All right, there you go.
I think I made top cut in both of them.
Have you improved? You'd say, like, have you made adjustments or tried some of those combos again? Or
I have. And what I liked was kind of exchanging data with other people and looking at their report cards and seeing what combos worked for them.
Yeah.
And being able to try those out to see, is it the combo? Is it the way that they're launching?
Right.
And so you can kind of gather a lot from that and testing things out yourself. So it's a really cool piece of data to have.
Me? Am I the problem?
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, that's what I figured out. I'm the problem. So don't blame your base.
That's tough. That's tough. I mean, there are some people experiment. People
Yeah, no,
try
for
really
sure.
random combos. But
Sometimes they work.
Yeah.
You never
You
know
know?
when you struck gold, and it's this report card, shows, this logs your activity of when folks, I'm just gonna do one change, and in the end, you see a report card is like, from you're holding it up and it's on your floor because you tried all these different combos as
right.
testing.
Yeah.
And you might have been like, I second guessed myself. I should have stuck with X. So I mean, hey,
Right.
it's cool. Like I said, that shark edge. You just never know what's gonna work, especially with the meta changing though. And that's what you want to see as somebody that's coming in with prospects or whatever, however you want to help the scene. You want to see that it's not one bay dominating everything. I mean, albeit with Rod best bay, but you could still counter that. There's so many different options, and of course, people are playing different combos all the time. So you'll always see it shift, and then old bays will become relevant again through that as well. So.
And what about you, Q? You've actually gone out of state to play Beyblades as well.
Yeah, shout out to Nebo. I mean, they're very similar to us over there. I haven't really encountered anything too toxic or anything like that, thankfully. It's just really cool to see. I mean, in the tri-state area, people are driving between states, for hours to go to these tournaments.
Yeah.
But shout out to guys over there. They're doing good work, and we hope to maybe figure something out together soon. But we want to just hear from all the different other scenes in the U.S. as well and beyond, and see what we can do to just make this bigger, make Hasbro, Kartomi, any other companies see that we really do think that this can go to the next level. And whether it be Beyblade X or the next iteration, we're ready to take it there. So,
yeah, man, you're gonna catch us Olympics 2026. We're gonna be.
They did try. Don't just make that joke. You gotta let them know they did try to make Beyblade an Olympic sport. They got rejected, but there's an effort by Takara Tomy.
We'll get there.
We're gonna keep raising awareness, blading in front. It's in Los Angeles this year, so
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. So cool, man. I think that's the gist, right? Is Joji, man, you gotta let the people know where they can find you, brother.
They could find me at BeyNet.org.
There it is. Yeah,
There we are.
FCG's on Saturday. Ready?
Exactly.
With his Pegasus, Shark Scale, and Wizard.
Yeah, check him out at conventions too. He's cool. You don't gotta be meek, man. You're selling the anime bottles. It's great. Am I allowed to say that? Can I say that?
Go ahead.
Yeah. You got that's really cool. Really cool. product.
Anime bottles, TikTok, Instagram.
Sweet.
So
Sweet.
catch me at the con. Local Saturdays, blading
Yeah.
on behalf of BeyNet. So
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. DW, anything?
I think that's it. Let's wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks.
Go for it.
I'm going to say thanks for watching our second episode, and stay tuned for episode 3, where we're going to talk about just the finals in red versus blue, the moment you guys been dying to hear about it. And listen, people, as we've been saying it over and over again, if you have anything to contribute for BeyNet, please reach out, and we can see, how we can help each other out and just keep this sport going and having the best fun with it. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.
Peace.
Ham banana.
Yeah.
I'm stealing his lines today.